All right. Hey, we match. Hey you, welcome back to my channel. We are hiding out in the bathroom again and looking at old magazines. So today we have something special for you. We have Justin Timberlake on the cover of November 2002 17 magazine. I'm very excited about this one. Now, we have been focusing mostly on the 90s. We had a little sprinkling of the 80s, 89. But you know what? This was almost 20 years ago. So as sad as I feel about it, this is an old magazine and it makes me feel very nostalgic as I go through it. So we're gonna go through it together and I hope that you feel the same way. And if you do, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because that really helps the channel show up in the algorithms. And if you like the content and you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe and you hit that little bell so that way you get notified when I post a new video. So before we get started, we got to get ready. All right, so to start us off here, a big trend in 2002 was using a single shade of eyeshadow, taking it all the way up and then doing a nice dark eye. But they were like extreme colors. So like this is a green and here we have an orange. So we're gonna give it a shot. All right, we are bringing out, what is it? You guessed it, the Disney Villains collection again. And man, I really did a number on this the last time I used it. Jeebus. Okay, so we're gonna go for this dark green and hope for the best. All right, this is not enough. This doesn't scream 2002 to me. We're just not in the spirit yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna accessorize and we're gonna do some stuff with our hair. So I don't know if anybody else remembers this, but at least for white girls, this pigtail thing, kind of like a messy pigtail, like, oh, I didn't care. Like, I'm so cool. That was a big thing, and everybody, even if they lived in Indiana, they dressed like they were surfers and skaters. So that's what we're gonna go for. Ooh. Yeah, see, like we can't make it look like we tried super hard. Here, I'm trying too hard. I just need to let it fall. Sure. I'm not sure. It's awful. Okay, this last accessory, I mean, it's gonna have to be it. It's as close as I can get to 2002, I mean, without going shopping. So remember beanies, oh man, beanies. I mean, people still wear these in the winter, right? But like people wore beanies and the big chunky ones all seasons. I mean, it's 90 degrees outside and your boy's got a beanie on. So let's give it a shot and see if it gets us there. Woo! This has seen better days, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. This looks so stupid. Did I do this? If you were friends with me in high school, did I do this? All right, this is as good as it's gonna get. So let's get started. Aw, look at these gals listening to some 2002 chart toppers on their Walkman. It's so adorable. On regular headphones too. They look so happy. Everything in 2002 as far as fashion was this. I mean, low-rise jeans, a short cropped top, and strings. Like strings on your sleeves, strings on your belt, strings on your pants. I mean, let's count in this episode how many accessories and clothing items we find with just strings on them. This is number one. Oh, brother, hair wax. I mean, they still sell this stuff, right? But it was used, I think, a lot more circa 2002. I, for one, was a customer back then, and I no longer am. I had a pixie cut, and this was in my hair every single day, and it held up like cement. So it was very great product. Highly recommend. Who remembers this ad? A Declaration of Independence, Tommy girl. I mean, this girl should be her own American Girl doll. Look at that, just freedom and patriotism. Strings on pants, number 2. Oh, an ad for Clinique Happy. This was, for some reason, like a really sought after scent. A lot of gals in my high school wore it, or they wore the like knockoff version. I would always go to the department store and get a sample of it. And then I never had to pay for it because I was too cheap. Oh, I always loved these things where they would show you a picture of a celebrity and they'd be wearing something really expensive, but then it would show how to kind of copy their look and you wouldn't have to spend as much money. It's Alicia Cuthbert, whatever her name was. You guys know who she was. She played Kim Bauer on the show 24. Anybody who watched that show, they would totally agree with me. Kim Bauer was just the worst. I don't want to look like Kim Bauer. Forget it. Strings for 3. Oh, Nick Carter's dropping a solo album October 29th. Go out and get it. Strings for 4. Oh, pumpkin scented things. See, this is not like a new craze since Pinterest came around. I mean, in 2002, we were still basic as hell with all these pumpkin scented and pumpkin flavored things. This is a November issue. And so, I mean, people like it. Just leave them alone. Let them be. This is a super zoom, but we got strings and strings. We got double strings for 5 and 6. Oh, the sex and body section. Oh God, I would always read this when I was like way too young. Even though this magazine says 17 on the front, I definitely read this when I was much younger than 17. And this always just had the most scandalous questions. Like, is there such a thing as dry sex? What is it? And it goes on to describe how you can, essentially have a nice time with your partner of choice without getting naked, but you do need to be careful because STDs are still a thing. They always gave like some advice. They threw in like a good tidbit at the end there just to try and keep everybody safe. Even though 13-year-olds like me were reading things that we probably shouldn't have been reading. Oh, we got strings all over the place. We got strings on boots. We got strings on whatever that is, a bustier. We've got strings on pants. Wow, look at that. That is a commitment. I mean, I guess the plus side is like you could loosen these up if you started to gain weight and they could fit for longer before having to go buy more. Man. Oh, these were always the best. Would you date this guy? They would always find just some random young guy like on the street. They'd take a photo of him in his street clothes and then they'd ask a bunch of girls what they think about him after, they read his answers to some just general questions, like what's your favorite book? Like what do you look for in a girl? Blah, 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 blah. So let's see here. This is Joe Clark, age 20. So let's see what the ladies had to say about him. All right, here are the judges, and just right away, I'm sorry, Ava Marie, age 14, says he's so cute. When asked, would you date this guy, she says, I might. He seems fun and exciting. Definitely my type. Ava Marie, unless your type is a jailbird, this guy is not for you because his ass is going to end up in prison for statutory rape. You are 14, child. What the hell, 17? You should not be interviewing 14-year-olds on whether they want to date a 20-year-old guy. Get it together. Oh, colored sunglasses. I mean, Bono from U2 wears these all the time, but this was a whole movement in the early 2000s. Oh, let's bring us back. 17 always had a how-to section. This issue has a Wiccan teaching us how to do spells. I am totally here for this. We've got a love spell on here. We have a bully freeze spell, freezing the negative energy from invading our lives. And we have a prosperity spell. I might give this a shot this weekend, depending on how much time I have. Oh, I totally forgot about this weird trend where people would wear ski goggles, and they're not skiing. I mean, you'd be like in third period in the middle of the Dust Bowl states where they don't even have skiing, and people would be wearing that on their head. So strange. And I can't remember what started that, but I'm pretty sure there was a movie called Can't Hardly Wait, and one of the main characters was kind of a goofy guy, and he also wore ski goggles on his head. I don't know. If anybody knows for sure, put it in the comments. I think that's what the movie was called. This is before we totally committed back to the thick-rimmed Ray-Bans. We kind of dipped our toe with these nerdy girl glasses that had a thicker rim instead of just the clear rims. Do you guys remember these? Breakdancing really saw a resurgence like from the 80s in the early 2000s. I dated a guy who would breakdance like at all of our school dances, and it was a really big hit. I have to say, like, everybody was real impressed, and I obviously thought it was cool. He tried to teach me one time. I gave it, I don't know, it was like a solid 3 hours of good effort before I realized this is not for me. Ooh, the hard questions section. Let's see what we've got here. Whistleblower or squealer? My friend brought beer to school. I knew it was wrong, so I told the principal. She got suspended. And when everyone found out I was the one who told on her, they stopped talking to me. Did I do the wrong thing? Yes, Allison. Yes, you did. You handled that poorly. Don't be such a narc next time. Ooh, before Instagram, learning about contouring, we had these weird things. Like little packs where you could have bronzer and highlighter and then whatever the hell this was, like beads of pigment all mixed together, and you just like threw your brush in there, twirled it around, and then put it on your face and hoped for the best. Pinstripe pants, man, those made a really big resurgence from, I don't know, like the 20s in the early 2000s. I myself had a very comfortable pair of pinstripe pants, and I even wore them in my senior photos. I was a big fan. Oh, we're up to the Justin Timberlake part, and they gave us like a pull-out poster, 2 pages worth. Awesome. The whole reason everybody wanted to purchase this was because Justin had come out with his solo album. He had gone away from NSYNC, and he and Britney had broken up. And so everybody purchased this for sure because they wanted to know what he had to say about the breakup. And we asked, so what happened? And he says, a lot of people have asked me exactly what happened, and that's between me and Britney. Damn it. What is this? I vaguely remember owning something like this. It's like a skirt, but it's like cargo shorts, but it's a skirt, but it's cargo, but it's a skirt. Ah! Well, we got the MTV photo booth. This was back when they would do, I think it was from Total Request Live. TRL, right? And they would have celebrities pop in their photo booth and then they would take pictures. So we got Ryan Phillippe here, we got Ben Affleck, J-Lo. Her pictures are terrible. Come on, get vulnerable, girl. Ooh, we got Usher. Is that a butt? Is that an Usher butt? What? Oh, this was when America Ferrera had her big debut on, I think it was like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or Real Women Have Curves. I can't remember which, Curves? Curves? I can't remember which one came out first, but this was so refreshing because everyone was so skinny that you saw in magazines, and this was like what really started turning the ship around, where you kind of saw more people that looked like your average, whatever, gal or guy. And oh, but she's got strings though, we got strings. The back of 17 magazines were always the best because they had tons of advertisements that were just really fitting for the angsty teenage audience that they had. You know, these are kids who were probably mad at their parents for no reason, wanted to run away and start their life, like, it's not a phase, mom, you know, like all of those people. So our options here, you could be a model, you could be a fashion designer, you could just submit essays. No topic needed apparently, for money. You could be a model with another place. You could finish high school. So we've got a homeschool study program here. Seems pretty legitimate considering it's been going on since 1897. That seems like a long time. We've got Citizens High School. You could finish in as little as 4 months. Dang. Oh, and then we just have high school. You could finish in 4 short weeks. Wow, the accelerated program. If you are interested, make sure you dial extension 72 when you call that number. Incredible. to cap off this episode, we have an advertisement for the most 2002 product I've ever seen. And we got strings. So this is just a double. And more strings. We got boxing strings that match her legging strings. This is just great. We have a power strip. You guys remember when they were doing this, the power strip or the power stripe in deodorant, where basically they made it seem like that was essential for combating odor, when really all they did was just put the smelly part that they were already putting in deodorant in the center and colored it something different. Like, we were all duped. All right, well, that's the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure that you hit the like button and hit subscribe, so that way when I come out with my next video, you are the first to know. And speaking of the next video, not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. So if you have any sort of poll on what you would like to see, put it in the comments below, because I've got a Sports Illustrated that I'm really strongly considering. Michael Jordan is on the cover. Looks really awesome. I've got a YM magazine. I've got an Entertainment Weekly. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that'll be next week. So make sure that you hit the bell so you get notified when that video goes live. Thanks again for watching, and we will hopefully see you next time. Bye.